Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's reading for October 31st, 2022. Happy Halloween or Happy All Hallows Eve. Thank you for joining me today. I thought we would do something a little different today, and we are going to do a wood reading. And as you can see, I've got two slabs of wood here in front of me that I have intuitively chosen for this week's reading. And what we're going to do is look at them together and talk about how this wood predicts our week for us. The one thing you're going to notice is, and we're going to start with this larger piece here, and this is a piece of honey locust, and it's actually spalted honey locust. You can see kind of the black marbling here, which is more prize, like people love when it has more of this detail. Some other people would say, oh no, that's not good. Well, I love it. It gives the wood a lot of character. I spent, good like 40-50 minutes sanding these down, and then I put some Dutch oil on it, which makes it like this really nice true color. And you can see the pinks and the browns and the tans and the yellows all mixed in. And over here we have a piece of mulberry, which usually I just choose one piece of wood for a reading. However, Spirit said that we needed 2 pieces of wood this week. But over here we have the mulberry. And what's really cool about it, it has this nice yellow-brown color as well, but just more yellows, which is fascinating to me because you think of a mulberry tree and the bark is kind of orange. But on the interior it's yellow. So first we're going to start with this mulberry piece, and then we'll move on over here. Oh, I'm sorry. First we'll start with the honey locust, then we'll move on over here to the mulberry. But what I see here in this honey locust is we've got, the heart wood here is what I would call that, these different rings of the wood. And then over here you've got another separate ring that created itself all on its own, which usually happens when we've got dual leaders in a tree, or a split in the trunk, or something really tragic happened to the tree. But what I was looking at more was that we have 2 heart centers. We have our 3D self, the one that has to operate in this current world, and then we have our spiritual self, our soul self down here. And we see that here our 3D self that is having to live in this world and trudge through the shit, more or less, is being supported by our ancestors. And when I look at this, I can see the little face here in the marbling. It's really cool. There's his eyes and his face, and you see all this darkness that is surrounded, but in the center there's this light. And what I felt like the message was is that we are surrounded by all these things that seem to get us down, that seem to, that we hold on to, all these things that we need to work on within ourselves, that we need to heal, our shadow self. But we are being supported by our ancestors in this healing journey to work on our shadow self, so that way our heart can become more of a whole piece. And what I thought was amazing is, as I looked over here in this side of the wood as well, I see more ancestors gathering along here to support us on our 3D journey. And we have to get through these layers in order to really rise and to be ourselves, and so that we can stay in this heart center. And sometimes we are given, not the best life when we start out. We don't get to choose, it chooses us. And we choose, before we come into our bodies, the journey is chosen for us, for the lessons we need to learn. And this shadow self is a part of us. It's a part of our heart. And as we go through these things, our ancestors support us to really rise up and be yourself. And especially this week, we're being extra supported. They are around here to help us and to guide us on our journey. And know that, they're here in our heart space to really help us to grow and to learn. But in order to get to this soul center, we really have to deal with our shadow selves and honor it and know that it is a part of us. And if we keep ignoring it and pushing it out, it will really cause a split in our world. So this week, make sure you're taking the extra time to connect to your heart, so you can really address those parts of yourself that you've been ignoring or pushing down, so you can rise up and be your highest self. And you're just immensely supported. What I love about this piece of wood is there's so many different images in it. And honey locust really has to do with the sweetness in life. And over here, I see the ancestral face, but we also have a dog. And whenever I see dogs come up in readings, it's all about our friends supporting us in our journey. Our ancestors are our friends to help us, lift us up so that we can get through these hard times or this darker period as we move into the shadow, as it is a healing journey. And what I thought was wild is, Spirit picked two different pieces of wood, but over here in this mulberry, which has a lot to do with fae magic and boundaries and beauty, we really find that, there's this cute little stingray that is right here. And I kind of felt like it all kind of culminated together. But stingrays are also known as water eagles, and they're about seeing the big picture on our journey, and they're embedded with that water element, but they're also embedded with that lightning element. And I really felt like this stingray in this mulberry wood was coming forward to say, hey, embrace yourself, embrace this healing journey, and ride the waves. We have to go through the water and through this tumultuous period before the full moon and eclipse, but we are given everything we need in order to be able to flow smoothly through our actions in this lifetime. And that's really what the stingray is about going through the deep waters smoothly, and getting through this more intense period so we can come out a little bit lighter on the opposite side. I think of that being, the electricity that the stingray can harness, as well as the fluidity of the water that it moves through it. And also what was fascinating, and I always learn a little something when I'm doing this, is that stingrays always mate around the full moon. And we're getting ready to come up on that full moon. So just know that things are going to get a little heavier before they get a little easier, unless you're really, really doing that shadow work. Then they're going to just be a lot more energy out there for any of your endeavors that you're looking to work on this week. And I kind of feel like there's multiple timelines at play. So you could either be the person that's really needing to deal with that shadow right now, or you can be the person that's really, really vibing high with this energy and just riding the waves and flowing smoothly through it, and really engaging your ancestors this week, knowing that they're supporting you, asking for additional help, that they're there to lift you up and really help you find this heart space here. And having the self-confidence to take your own fucking life by the horns and move through it. We all have shit, but right now is a super potent time to be able to deal with that shadow self, to really do some healing work, and have it move through your life very, very easily, rather than holding on to things that that aren't helpful for you. So this week is all about flowing, moving through the journey, really dealing with our shadow self and knowing that we're supported. And as I said, if you've already dealt with the shadow self and moved past it, then you're just feeling really, really like you're riding on cloud 9, and really embrace that energy to get those projects done, clear out that space, and cleanse the house and get ready for that full moon and eclipse coming next Tuesday. So anyways, thanks for joining me today for this wood reading. If you would like a wood reading, they are on my booking site, so feel free to help yourself. You get to keep the wood. They work great for altar spaces. I've got so many different kinds, and there's so much meaning that goes behind each different piece of wood. And they also feel really good when you touch them, and definitely help with that grounding aspect. But have a wonderful week and enjoy this Halloween evening. Thank you.